Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Ian Green, and I'm the musician for Music Dreams and also for Ian J. Green. And I'm also a music teacher, and I really enjoy creating material for Spotify and streaming music, and also I love teaching music as well too. And I enjoy teaching and offering tutorials. And today we're going to be looking at part two of the tutorial for Unit 3 of the RCM or Royal Conservatory Level 10 Harmony course. So let's go over to my shared screen and we'll look at some material together. In the previous video, I spoke about the descending fifths sequence, and that basically is a series of chords that starts with the tonic chord. Then if you go down 5 notes to 4, then 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, or 5, 7, to 1. We cycle through that entire sequence of chords. Now, the ascending fifths sequence uses the same principle, but instead of the notes going up or going down, we go up instead. So, for example, starting in C, we go up a fifth to G major. Then if we were to keep going up, then we go to D minor next. But we can also go up a fifth, then down a fourth, as I'm doing in the bass. And then after that, we go to A minor. Then we go to E minor. Then we can go to 7, which is B diminished. And then we can go to 4, which is F. And then back to 1, which is C. So essentially, we're going to be using a chord that goes up a fifth from the previous chord. But of course, it's not practical to jump up the piano like this. So you can go up a fifth, then down a fourth, and you get to the next note correctly without having to move around too far on the span of the piano or the keyboard. Now, harmonically, this chord progression works very well, but traditionally, the chord progression works best in a major key where we go from 1 to 5, 2 to 6, and we go to 3, but then the chord progression can break. We can go to 2, and then 5, to 1 again. So let me go over to the piano keyboard and I'll play that one more time so you can see the progression. So we start off in the key of C, then we go down in relation to the bass note, but we're actually technically going up a fifth because it's in ascending fifths. So we can go down a fourth to achieve that same chord. Then we go up a fifth, which would be D minor, then down a fourth, which we go to A minor, then up a fifth to E minor, and then from there, then the sequence stops. I'm now going to be playing this chord where the pencil is. 2, 6, V6, 4 to 7, 3, and then to 1. Now in a minor key, the ascending fifth sequence can also be used as well too. It's a really handy chord progression because it sounds really nice, and also we can cycle through major and minor chords, and they're equally important within the progression. But something that's important to note is that whichever chord inversions are used for the first 2 chords of any of the sequences that we're speaking on today, the next chords you want to use will also include the same inversions, especially in the treble clef here. You can see how we use first inversion chord, then we go to root position, then we go to first inversion, and then root position again. Then we go to first inversion here, and if we were to continue it in sequence, then we would go to root position, etc. But you can see how the sequence breaks here, because then the voice leading is slightly different in the treble clef. Now, while I'm speaking about inversions here and these particular notes of the treble clef, please also note that even though we're using different inversions to create sequential voice leading in the treble clef of this keyboard style example, each of the chords are still in root position because that's how they are organized. So even though we have inversions in the one hand, please don't get mixed up or confused, because we always consider the root or the position of the actual inversion of the chord when using functional chord symbols by looking at the lowest note, of which in this case would be in the bass clef. So I do hope this information was helpful to explain the ascending fifths sequence. Let me play it one more time. 1 to 5, 2 to 6, 3, then 2 6, V6 4, 5 7 to 1. It's a very nice progression, and it works very well. It's also kind of fun to try to find this type of progression in not only just in the examples in the textbook, but also in some of the music that you might be writing or listening to. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another tutorial.